I'd like to call a special meeting for the town of Sewell's Point. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call?
Mayor Kurzman,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burrell,
Here.
Commissioner Fender,
Here.
Commissioner Mayfield,
Yes.
Commissioner Titicus.
Commissioner, we're taking roll, just say here.
Commissioner Titicus.
Can you hear me? I can hear you. Okay, they're taking the roll, so just, your name's gonna be called here in a second.
Commissioner Titicus.
All right. Are there any public comments? Being none, any additions, deletions, or changes to the agenda? Do I have an approval for the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Vice Mayor Burrell,
Yes.
Commissioner Fender,
Sure.
Commissioner Mayfield,
Yes.
Commissioner Titicus,
Yes.
Mayor Kurzman.
Yes. All right, this meeting's to talk about an update on the town manager compensation package. I'd like to start off on the discussion part. I requested this meeting to discuss the compensation package for town manager Bob Daniels. Bob is currently the lowest paid town manager of any coastal town from Vero through Miami, with a base salary of $130,000. The cost to hire a town manager, last time we paid $22,000 just to have the want ads and everything that are going out, plus the price per month for an interim manager was $14,000, which comes to $168,000 a year. Our last interim manager was here for 7 months. I understand, I've spoken with their town manager. He's very happy here, but you know, like everybody else, you try and look to see if you can make more out there, and it didn't necessarily mean that he was jumping or signing, but he's here. I've been a commissioner now for 6.5 years. I've worked with 4 different town managers. When one leaves, there's usually not great communication by the time the next one comes in, and a lot of things get lost in the shuffle. My opinion, anyhow, is town manager Daniels is by far the best town manager Sewell's Point has ever had. Town manager Daniels is respected by the majority of the residents that I've spoken to since I've been here, Sewell's Point employees, county commissioners, neighboring towns, and Florida state government, which is where Sewell's Point obtains its grants. That's where they come from. Sewell's Point is currently in the middle of one of the biggest projects for our town for resiliency and sewer hookups. Our town manager has been directly involved in the day-to-day operations on these projects, how it's handled. He handles it successfully, along with his other duties. And it's no secret right now, Town Manager Daniels did an interview with Juno Beach, where he was looking to get a salary of $175,000, which is considerably more than we're paying. I did watch the interviews, and when I watched them, I thought for sure that our town manager would probably be leaving us, because he definitely interviewed very strong, and there were only 2 applicants that I would even consider hiring to be a town manager, and the rest of them I wouldn't have here no matter what. I wouldn't have him in here for $50,000 a year. Our commission must realize the difficulty of finding a qualified town manager is not easy, and the process is expensive. The last time I went through this interviewing process, I realized the applicants with less experience may stay in Sewell's Point after we trained them for 1 to 3 years. Then another town offers more money, just like our police department. They come in for a year or two and they move on because somebody pays $10,000 more. It's before I hired Bob, the towns that I called Bob's references that he worked for previously. I was told by some of the commissioners that it was a mistake not keeping Bob. And what happens in a lot of towns, the commission changes, and some are pro-development, anti-development, pro this, anti-that, and then when the commission changes, Bob goes out. And that's just how it works, but they did say they lost real leadership, and it was a big mistake firing the town manager, because they've been through several town managers, and none of them compared to what we have in our current town manager. I don't want to make the same mistake as Town Manager Daniels has been a proven commodity for Sewell's Point. We've rated him in the past. We've rated him the highest of any town manager that's been here. That was amongst all the commissioners. I would like to update his compensation package, but the rest is up for discussion. I'm not going to get into numbers or anything, but I would like to hear what the commission has to say. Vice Mayor.
Okay, nothing personal here, but Mr. Daniels actually submitted his application in February 7th to the town of Juno Beach. Waited a full month before he even mentioned anything about it. Okay, he called you on Friday when they were taking the vote, whether he was going to be part of Juno Beach or he's going to be here. He did not come in. He came in fourth or third or something like that. And, of course, he did not get hired there. And I'm okay with some of this stuff, but I'm not okay with all of it. I'm not okay with this last-minute rushing to do this contract. I don't think we're giving the residents enough notice.
No, this is a discussion. We're not making any
Well, that's what I'm
decision
doing. I'm
tonight. No,
discussing it right now.
Yes, yes.
I just don't like the way it was handled on two ends. I think it could have been handled better. I think that even during a discussion period, the town residents should be involved. There's no way in the world that we should be paying anybody $40,000 an increase a year and not have the residents involved, even in the discussion. There are some things in the contract that are there that, of course, are really up for discussion. Salary is one, car allowance is another. Bottom line is, I feel like we're being pushed against the wall. If Mr. Daniels decides he wants to go and look for another job, he'll go look and maybe come back and want another increase. Or that could happen with any town manager that we hire, knowing that we could be pushed against the wall or put into a corner and we give in to it. I'm not for that. I don't like to give in on anything like that. I think we have a contract. I think the contract was signed. I think the contract was fairly clear when Mr. Daniels was hired. It was fairly clear to the commission when it was drawn up, and all these commissioners signed it. I also know that there are 3 votes in Mr. Daniels' favor, so I can understand that. And that's my way of discussing it right now. If you want to toss things back at me, go right ahead. I saw the resume. I saw it on Friday morning, before he called and spoke to you and before he called and spoke to the other
What
commissioners.
resume?
Mr. Daniels' resume.
Oh.
It was 121 pages long that went into Juno Beach. I saw it Friday morning, okay? So I knew when he called me that he was already telling me one way or the other that he was either offered the job or he's a candidate for the job, whatever it might be. So, you know, there are a lot of ways to look at this. One way is let's not rush into this. I think this is even a rushed discussion. I think we should hold off and discuss this more as we get it out to the residents. And I know what you're saying here. I saw your job thing and the thing in very nice beach. Thought it was good.
Thank you, Vinnie.
But I have to disagree with some of it. However, that's part of it.
And that's why we're getting a rough discussion and to get ideas from each other. And Town Manager Daniels.
Obviously, the vice mayor is entitled to his opinion. I respect that, but you need to know the right story. I never asked for this meeting.
I know you didn't.
Okay,
That was-
well, when you make a statement like, it's like I'm holding you over a barrel, I haven't. I never asked for an increase.
Well, what did you expect?
I expected to be treated with respect and professionalism like I've been treating everyone since I've been here. So, I don't want to debate an issue with you, you know, it's
Well-
up for you all to say, but I just wanted to make sure I clarified that because, you know, we do have members of the public here, and I don't grandstand.
That's why I said there are two parties, both parties, that were involved here for making this rush decision, okay? One is the town manager saying that he has a job interview, or he had a job interview, and the other was on our side. They said, oh, let's have a meeting about this immediately. We could have waited to a later date till we got all the facts, like you said, all the facts, and we bring it to the public.
Well, that's kind of what we were trying to hope to get some more facts. I wanted to hear opinions, and.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was saying I was trying to get some more opinions on what the rest of the commission had to say. And I was also interested to see what Mr. Daniels had to say. And I think that's in all fairness at this point. I was surprised as everybody. I wasn't expecting that. I was certainly, shocked, but I do know, like I said, we do have, our employees are underpaid, and so it's, at the same time, I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked. It's, everybody tries to better themselves, and I'm not gonna hold it against an employee to go out to try and better themselves if that's what they could do. If somebody could go out there and get a 40% increase in their pay.
That's not
Yes.
what this is about. I'm all for that.
Yes.
Somebody wants to go out and get a better job, terrific. They want to make more money, great. But that's not what this is about.
What's this about?
Well, this is kind of about, okay, I had a job, I had an interview with another job, okay? And, okay, I didn't get it. So, hey, boss, I didn't get that job. I'm really sorry. And then the boss goes, well, we want you here. Okay? All right? And then the next boss goes, yeah, I agree, we want you here. And the next boss goes, yeah, we want you here. And that's pretty much what I was told. Okay? So, you can look at it however you want. Bottom line is, if you went back to your boss, or somebody came to you as an owner of a business and said, hey, I'm interviewing with somebody else, so what do you think? Think you should give me more money? Even though you have a contract?
Let me go. Commissioner Mayfield.
Yes, I just have a brief thought on that since I'm formulating my other thoughts. But I think one of the main points that the town manager said is he didn't ask for any meeting, and so he was never asking for anything. He just did the action which which probably should have been brought to our attention earlier. I believe that's what the contract says. But regardless, I also agree that he should be able to go out and try to get more money. That's what employees do. I mean, good for him. But he didn't ask for this, so when you say, that he's holding us to the fire or whatever, I do believe he's not asked me, I believe he hasn't asked any of you all, so the mayor called the meeting, which I think was a good call, because what if he had got offered the position and we were trying to do a last-ditch effort? So to your point, we don't have to do anything tonight, but it was a smart move, in my opinion, just to make sure because this is the only way we talk and we have to advertise it, so I think it was better to be safe than sorry as opposed to just waiting and seeing what happened. So I just want to clarify, he wasn't asking, and he didn't ask me for any money, and so this is our call, to the mayor's point, to discuss what we want to do, if anything. So,
We knew at 3:30 in the afternoon on Friday.
yeah, but, so then he called the meeting, and here we are. So I just want to say, it's not the town manager who's making this meeting happen, and he's not,
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying we rushed to the meeting. I didn't say it was the town
I
manager.
think it was because if he got offered the position,
He did not.
correct, but we didn't
We
know.
didn't know that. We didn't know that.
So
We
then,
knew at 3:30 on Friday afternoon.
Yeah, but
no, that was prior. I can't remember the exact time.
I do.
What's
3:21.
today? No, the meeting was Friday, and we knew before that. He called us earlier. Anyways, that's
Yeah,
getting
we-
into
we
the
did know.
details. We got called,
When did you know?
I found out, the town manager told me it was, I think, the beginning of last week. I
Why
found
didn't
out.
you tell anyone?
Because I can't
Yeah,
call
you
you,
can't
I
call
can't
me.
call any of my
Why
commissioners.
didn't we post it someplace?
I don't know.
You talk about the fact that, I'm not understanding what the "it" is. What is it that should be posted?
Well, I'm asking, why wasn't that posted someplace?
Why wasn't what posted?
That Mr. Daniels was going for another job a week before he called on Friday.
Okay, you're talking about the actual
Yeah,
initial
and
announcement.
I'm thinking, well, it's last minute, because that's what I was told, and that's what happened. But yet, you're saying that it happened a week before.
Yeah, I knew at the beginning of last week is when I found out that,
I think I got a call even the week before, but then I didn't have my town phone or something. But to the point, I do
Okay.
believe that we were supposed to be notified in writing per the contract. There may have been a problem there, but it doesn't change the fact that I think the only requirement is to notify the commission in writing, and that's it. There was nothing in the contract, maybe the lawyer could help me out too. Nothing in the contract that says you have to post it publicly, so it really is our decision. And
I
then, so
never
then we
saw
called a
anything.
meeting, and here we are.
Yeah, and I
So,
never saw anything.
yeah. I just wanted to make sure we were not trying to
So
say
I'm
he's
thinking it's last
pushing his
minute.
meeting and pushing the money thing.
But if you look at it from the point of view that I got, it was on a Friday,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And that's when I got the notice. Other than that, I never knew anything about it.
Yeah, I found out earlier. I didn't know when you found out or
Yep.
didn't find out, but anyways.
Okay.
Commissioner Fender,
I can just tell you that I'm less mired and troubled by the details of when and why and what. I mean, I own a small business, and in fact, just as dumb luck would have it, one of my lead engineers resigned 2 weeks ago. So I've interviewed 5 people in the last week, and today I made 2 job offers. So I'm in the middle of, this process that in my mind, God bless him. If the market bears an opportunity that he wants to pursue, I'll give him a high five for that. But I can tell you that as a sitting commissioner, I've got important business that we have to do for the town, and I really don't want to go through the process again of hiring another manager. That doesn't mean that I want to pay him anymore, and I certainly am. And I even told Bob that I'm more concerned about the optics of the cost of these roles than anything, because, we're a small town. We can't afford, we may be the lowest paid town manager municipality around, but that's because our budgets are tight. We can only afford what we can afford. But at the same time, we also have some supply and demand concerns that we have to concern ourselves with. Maybe this meeting was a little premature, but you know what? I didn't even know that he was not in contention for the role until I was driving to this meeting today. So I thought we were coming to this meeting to talk about, okay, do we want to start a new search? Are Do we want to make a broader offer to keep the town manager that, as you articulately stated, is pretty well respected and has done a great job for the last short time he's been here? It will be highly disruptive to our business process and the projects we have in place to start this process again. And I'm thinking mainly of the grant processing to fund the projects we have in place. So from a business perspective, there is an actual calculation of what is the value of the role. And I'm not in favor of changing it. And right now, the pressure seems to be a little bit off, but the question is, and I think I sense where you're at. Do you care if he goes out and looks some more? I mean,
No.
It doesn't sound like you do, and
No.
I
I don't.
do a little, I guess, but I don't, I would hope that he would. Even if I came back to the table and said, you know what, we don't want to lose town manager, we want to at least offer him as much as Juno Beach makes. I don't know that in itself would keep a person from going looking for the, next higher job. And that's nothing about Bob. This is human nature. I mean, I don't care that he didn't tell us whatever. I don't even know what the contract says about when he's supposed to alert us. I mean, I would expect he's watching out for his family as I am, So I don't have any ill will or feel negatively about the fact that an opportunity arose that a person would want to pursue. And I'm feeling a little bit relieved that we might get to keep him for a little bit longer, so.
I'm just talking about the process. That's
What
of what
process?
happened, how.
That's what I'm saying, I'm not, the process is gonna
That's
happen
what
in a
I'm
million different ways, right? But I get it, I understand what you're saying. So,
Yeah, I mean, there have been some great town managers right here in this county that moved on. With matter of fact, I believe, the former manager in Stewart, he actually had that position. He was a great town manager when he was there, and I'm sure Stewart wasn't happy about it, but he went to better himself.
Yeah.
And, he went to Juno Beach, and I bet that wasn't a picnic there. And now I think he went to St. Lucie, and, every place he went, he does great work. And I feel the same way about Mr. Daniels. It's not easy to find qualified town managers. There's not an abundance of them. And what you're trying to do is, like I've said before, we are the lowest paying town, which, like Commissioner Fender said, but we also have one of the lowest budgets. There's not a lot of room in our budget, but is there room to make somebody happy, maybe some budge? Hey, you've done a great job. You've received the highest scores ever from any commission that's ever rated a town manager. And the guy's been working very, very hard, puts in a ton of hours, more than I've seen. When I came in, the town manager was AWOL half the time, when I first became a commissioner. And then I had another commissioner that people didn't get along with. And it's just, I don't think anybody's ever going to be perfect, no matter who it is. It's a tough job to please everybody. And, like everything else, he's done everything that the commission has asked of him to date. And he works for the commission. We're his boss. He's got 5 bosses, 4 of them up here, one's on the phone. And he's respected each and every one of us. And everything we've asked for the town, he's come through on. And he's gone all over the place for us. So, like I say, are we going to find somebody better? My opinion is I don't think so, because I see what's out there. I've seen what the applicants were. I looked at other towns I took the liberty over the weekend to watch a lot of videos from different towns. And I saw the meeting, I saw the interviews with the other candidates. And it's, the same people bounce town to town, but there's a reason they're not getting these jobs. And, you gotta be careful what you wish for sometimes. And right now, we have a good thing going. I understand maybe the way it happened. It's almost like you're back in high school and you're watching your girlfriend with another guy. you cheated when I watched the video. It's almost like that type of feeling. I was like, wait, that's my town manager, so, but, it was a different kind of feeling. So,
I'd shoot him.
but, it's just, it's human nature, and I'm not going to fault our town manager for that, and I do understand that. Commissioner Mayfield.
Yeah, I wanted to say that I agreed with your speech at the beginning. I think that Bob has been doing a great job. And like, we've been on the commission a similar amount of time, and it'll be 6 years in June that I've been doing it. And if we were to go to a search again, that's 4 searches in 6 years. That's a lot of searches. They're expensive. I think, he's doing a great job. He gets along well. Things are running well, and I would really
Yes.
like him to stay. I don't think, this is just my personal opinion, I don't think he was pleased with, and he hasn't said this isn't mine, I don't think he was pleased with the October or the last review. I think he would have liked more and tries not to, it's a delicate balance, right? So I would be open to, clearly, if you're looking for a job somewhere else, you are testing the waters elsewhere, and I'd like to, keep him happier so that we can have some continuity and not run into problems. So if we can find a solution that's good for both sides, that would be ideal. But I do believe the contract should be looked at again, because I don't think he was pleased completely. Sorry for speaking for you, that's just my opinion, with what happened last time, so.
Commissioner Fender.
Yeah, I was just going to tie up what I was saying before, and that I'm caught in the middle. I'm not sure this gets litigated in public. I think we want to keep Bob happy. We want to make sure he's comfortable in the role he's here. He's obviously taken a risk by announcing that he looked elsewhere. So now I think we just have some one-on-one incentive discussions to be had to see what it takes to make sure this role is fulfilling for Bob. And I don't think this is the forum for that process myself. That's just me.
I agree, but I think we've all come to, this is what we needed to do, is the discussion we just had. And Commissioner Titikus, I see your buttons lit up. You have any comments?
I do. First of all, I'd like to know, we were all sent a draft contract. Who prepared it?
I wrote it by hand.
Pardon me? I didn't hear you, Commissioner Fender.
I'm making a joke, never mind.
He can't tell from that.
Mayor and Commissioner Titikus, I was asked to put together an agreement that I would want, and at that time I was obviously in the running at Juno Beach, and obviously when I wasn't in the running any longer, I also let the mayor know that I wasn't. So, but that's kind of the wish list. I'm sure you've had a wish list before, and that's what I did. It wasn't meant to, it's caused discussion, I guess, is kind of what it is. So, but I was asked to do that.
Okay, appreciate it, thank you. I have a couple comments. One is that when we have a contract in place, and that contract runs through till, I believe, the 8th of August of 2025. I'm not, I always get a little irked when sports figures in the middle of a season decide that they want to renegotiate their deal. And this kind of hit me the same way. Secondly, I think when Mr. Daniels came here, he said that, I believe he said that he wanted to retire from Sewell's Point. Well, that's clear. It's clear that that is not the case. And I also agree with, with Commissioner Fender and Commissioner Kurzman that when a person is presented an opportunity that they can significantly improve their situation, that they have an obligation to their family to do so. So I understand where that's coming from. I don't know whether Mr. Daniels approached Juno Beach or whether Juno Beach approached him or the headhunter approached him. But it's clear that Mr. Daniels is looking to leave, and it's clear that he will turn around and is looking to improve his situation. But I also believe we have a contract in place, and that contract should be followed. And at the appropriate time, then we should get into negotiations over what the terms of the new contract would be. I'm a firm believer in, when I was in business, I always made it a point to be at the 75th percentile of payroll ranges. And I think that we have to look at similar communities, both of a population size and similar communities of a budget amount, of a budget of approximately $4 million, and figure out, okay, where do we want to be in that period, in that spectrum. Also, the other thing is that a lot of this information is not public. Unfortunately, I mean, it's very difficult to find out what different communities are paying. But I think we should defer any discussion until the appropriate time when it comes up to renegotiate a contract. We made a fair offer to Mr. Daniels 2 years ago, and he accepted that offer. Maybe the market conditions have changed somewhat, but at the same time, let's work through this contract period and then at the appropriate time address the situation. In terms of the timing, and the optics of who knew when, like Commissioner Fender, I'm less troubled by that. Unfortunately, the Florida Sunshine Law precludes any of us speaking to each other. And, Mayor Kurzman, I'm a little troubled at the fact that you knew this a week the beginning of last week, and did not call for a meeting at that point in time, but rather waited until, when I heard about it was last Thursday. And so, anyway, I think as the mayor of the town, when you know that something's brewing, and because you can't get on the phone and call the rest of us, that you should have at least called a session so that we could have a discussion. But that's pretty much where I'm coming from. Like Commissioner Fender, I'm torn. I think Mr. Daniels has done a good job. Yet at the same time, I don't think now is the time to renegotiate a contract.
Town Manager Daniels.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Any other comments? I have actually one public comment, and I apologize. Paul Bowen, please come on up. Yeah, come on up to the mic. Name and address, please.
My name's Paul Bowen. I live at 2 Crane's Nest Street. And I'm here to bring up the point of the ongoing road construction and the stormwater drainage mitigation, I guess is what you might call it. We persistently have flooded garage with heavy rainstorms and high tides and so forth. We bought the house knowing that it occasionally got a flood, but not to the extent that we have experienced. We have made contact with the town engineer responsible for design of the new road construction and let them know. I've sent them photographs of the extent of the flooding that we get. And there's different solutions that have been presented to me for this, but not from the town engineer. I've submitted a solution to the building inspector. I submitted that by email, and it was just some hand-drawn preliminary drawings of what I thought would help rectify the solution. I don't know if the new design of the road is going to help mitigate the flooding in my house. I've also been informed that there's a Elevate Florida grant through FEMA that will elevate the house. But honestly, elevating the house, it isn't going to help me. It's at the garage level, which is the lowest point of the house. And either I wall off the garage door openings or get rid of that driveway section there, or do something to keep the water from just pouring into the garage. And I know that there's issues with adding grade elevation to the property. I don't know if there needs to be some sort of a request to have a consent for changing that for my particular situation. So I'm just here to make my voice heard. I'm here once a month. I own the house down there, but my daughter and her husband lives there. And they live there. That we come down once a month to visit with them. But it's our home, and we plan on retiring there. But we've slowly been renovating the house. It was in fairly extensive disrepair when we bought the house, and we've done a lot to it. And we really wanted to make it our home. And so far, this flooding issue's become a problem. And we'd like to just work with you as best we can to get this solved. And I honestly don't know if it is solvable, but I'd at least like to try and get your help with that if I could. So that's all I had to say.
Thank you, Paul. Town manager?
Paul, just so you're aware of it, I did have conversations at the end of the week, last week, with the town engineer. So there's probably some things that you and I need to talk about. Are you going to be in town this week?
I will be in town this week through
Okay.
Friday.
Okay.
Not Sunday, so.
If you're going to wait till after the meeting, I want to just get a
Sure.
phone number or something. I don't want to put it out over the public record.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Thank you so much, appreciate it.
Thank you,
Better
Paul.
catch him this week.
Yeah.
Any staff comments? Commissioner comments? Commissioner Mayfield?
Yes, just to add to, I didn't know we were totally moving on, but I just wanted to, I guess, kind of say it would be ideal if maybe the town manager could, I like communication, you know, if whether we look at it again now or wait till the next contract, but good communication about what it is you feel like you really need and want from the town, given what you know about us, i.e. we're not going to be able to hop up to Jupiter Island. So I feel like sometimes I don't know exactly what you want, to be honest, sometimes, and that is a good starting point. So that is kind of what I would ask for. I realize we do have the proposed, but like you said, that seems to be what Juno Beach was doing, and so I would ask maybe an idea of what you think Sewell's Point could do that you would like. Something like that would be, like I said, whether we do it again now or for the next cycle for the contract. That would be my...
Commissioner Fender?
And I'm not even going to go that far. I'm just going to say, I just want to make sure it's clear that we enjoy your presence here. We think you're doing a great job. We want you to stay, and I certainly do. I'm speaking for myself, and I think we have some important work to do together, and I'll do what I need to do internally to try to make this a place that you feel comfortable, and I hope that you don't carry any ill baggage because of this process, because I think this process is a normal process. So again, I'll reiterate that thanks for your hard work, and keep at it.
Yeah, and I also want to thank you. I think you've done a great job, as I've mentioned before, and as far as the communication goes, it's tough with sunshine laws to go ahead, and I wasn't prepared last week to call a meeting. I was going to wait till a certain point, have it put on the agenda for the 18th, but I thought it maybe, I went into panic mode, thinking I might be losing my town manager, and on Friday, and I did ask for the meeting. I lost sleep. I'm not going to lie. To me, the worst nightmare is doing another manager search. It's just, it's like having to go through I can't even describe, like a nasty virus that you're waking up to on a daily basis. You don't want.
Dave, we're gonna have to do it again.
No, I hope not. But, all right. Vice Mayor,
I'm not looking to go through looking for another town manager. I don't want that to be the thing here, okay? Because I've been through too many of them.
it's me too.
I've been a commissioner now going on 10 years. So,
How many have you had in 10 years, Vinny? How many?
eight in the beginning, 4 as arrest, and now I'm working on the second one. So,
You know, I'd like to see stabilization. That's what I want in the town. I think being stable, I'd like to get to actually know my police officers. I want to keep my town manager where people know him by name and he's able to call him, whatever it might be the case, and, you know, we have a relationship. It's just, you know, it's nice that I've had my same town clerk for a while. You know, I like stability. You know, I think that's very important, the way a town builds and grows. You're with each other, so left hand can't blame right hand. We all look in the mirror at the end of the day, and that's where it winds up. Town manager, oh, I'm sorry.
I just wanted to clarify a couple of issues, and maybe Mr. Torcivia can do that, but in the current agreement, there is not a notification provision in there to notify you. Now, notifying you going into an interview process, I thought was the appropriate time to notify you. Everything did come up very quickly. Apparently, they had somebody back out of the agreement beforehand, and that's why they went out searching for candidates. So, if you want to hold that against me, then, you know, I'm just trying to do what's best for my family, which is number one in my book. Actually, as I always preach, number one should be yourself, number two is your family, and three is your job. And that's what my expectation is out of every employee that's here in Sewell's Point, and that's the way I've run the shops where I've worked. And I've never had any complaints. The other situation is I don't have an end date to this agreement. So if you want me to work for 20 years at the same salary, I think that's a little bit asking too much, but there is not a date of August the 8th of
I didn't think it was. I thought it
2025.
was auto-renewing.
That was modified, I think, a year and a half ago, roughly. And it's been almost, I think it is 2.5 years that I've been here. I know it seems like it's only been a short period of time, but we lose track of time. But, you know, it's always been my will to want to, you know, be here. I mean, it's, I don't know, you know, if because this was a hard decision, you know, to even, you know, to throw my hat in the ring. But again, I have to think of my family, as everybody here thinks of theirs, and so that's why I did it. But I never would have taken a job without first having an opportunity to chat with each one of you.
I'd like to say something, Bob. Would you hit the button for me?
Yeah, Commissioner Titicus, your buttons are lit up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a little bit at a disadvantage from the rest of the commissioners because I don't have a copy of your current contract, and I'm just, you know, was assuming that when the contract was originally done on the 8th of August back in 2022, that it ran for a number of years. But I would like to get a copy, and I will request the same from Mrs. Stonesies after or in business tomorrow. And you know, as I stated earlier, I think we should put a fair compensation package on the table for towns that are when the agreement is coming due, and that compensation package ought to be commensurate with a town of our size and both a population and a budget. And then be that where it may, you know. In reading through the agreement that was sent out, some of the provisions I felt were a little, I won't say onerous, but you know, the backdating and things like that, and a percentage of an annual increase as opposed to what the other employees are giving. You know, this seemed to be a big ask. But at any rate, I'll let it. I think we ought to defer doing anything tonight, and when we are in July or a period of time when this is coming due, then we sit down and we have a pretty healthy discussion. And at that point in time, as Commissioner Mayfield has said, you know, we would like to know what you would like from the town of Sewell's Point, not what, you know, not what you would like from the town of Juno Beach. Thank you.
All right, and Commissioner Mayfield.
I just thought at this point when you guys were talking about town searches, and I don't want to speak for you guys. I know I've been saying things I thought you think, and I think the things you guys think. But when we're talking about not wanting to do the town search, I don't think it's just because it's not the most fun process, but I remember all the applicants. And I think that Bob has by far been the best, and I don't see us doing another town search and getting a whole new, to your point, Mayor, all these great new candidates that haven't been seen before. So I just wanted to clarify, it's not just because it's a pain, it's because it costs money, it is a pain, and I don't believe there are better candidates, and I think that Bob's been doing a fantastic job, so.
Well, some of the people that we rejected are actually, one of the town managers on this list over here is making more money. And we said, no way, each and every one of us did. And that's how thin the pool is for town managers right now. And she wasn't even experienced. And, but any other comments? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.